everyone, and thank you again for joining me at Breaking the Silence Together podcast. For those of you that don't know who I am, my name is Jeannie Perez, and I am the founder of an organization called You Are Not Alone. And what the organization entails of is supporting mental illness, addiction, and now we've also opened up relationships, marriage counseling, coaching, life coaching, family coaching. So now we're opened up not just to the mental illness and addiction, but we're also opening to these new avenues also now that if you know anyone that's dealing with any kind of relationship where they want some kind of support or coaching, we're opened up to that now. We're opened up to any marriage support or coaching. We're also opened up to anyone that might need any kind of life coaching, career coaching. So now this podcast will have a little bit of all that going forward. As of today, I'm going to be talking. It's going to be a little different than what I've been doing lately, because lately I've been just focusing on just mental illnesses and addiction, which is still the main outlook of my organization. But today I'm going to be just talking a little bit about relationships, whether it's a couple that's just boyfriend and girlfriend, or it's a married couple. Today we're going to just be touching base a little bit on that. And what the title is today that I've come up with on behalf of this talk is Reclaiming Your Space When You Share It With a Loved One. And the reason why I brought it up like that, this talk, is because, you know, whether you're married or you're not, it's still your loved one. You're still sharing a space, whether it's physically, mentally, with someone else that is important to you in your life. And what was brought up to me on behalf of this that they put together for me here today to talk about is, how do you go about when you're in a relationship, but some days you just feel as though you just need that extra space? You know, you don't want to really be bothered with your significant other. You just want time for yourself that day, you know. Or how do you do it when you are both living in the same spot? You know, you share a home together. You know, everything that you do it together. How do you wrap your head around from that norm, like that everyday life that you're so used to? How do you get away from that? How do you reclaim your space all over, where it's just where you can just pause and really take care of yourself that day, or really just do things about just for yourself that day? How do you do it? And the reason why I decided on, you know, opening this new service with our organization was because I had a lot of people coming to me and asking me, well, any of your services, are you doing, you know, marriage or relationships or just life coaching or spiritual coaching or counseling? And I said, well, right now we were just focusing on mental illness and addiction. And I just kept getting the same question over and over. So I was blessed where I was able to bring someone in, even though I'm licensed also for life coaching, marriage, and relationship and spiritual. I just didn't have the actual time to be able to provide those services besides the services that I'm already providing worldwide. So now I have the extra hands, I have the extra people, that now I did launch the service, which is for, you know, life coaching, marriage, relationship, or spiritual. And the individuals that have been sending me, you know, emails, texts, even out in the community, been asking me about it. I said, well, look, now I'm open, I'm able to do it. So the person that reached out to me yesterday, she put something together for me, and the reason why I wanted to share her story today was because she's really been on me for a couple of days, a while already, to talk about this, or even to launch the service with the organization, because she feels there was such a big need out here for it. And, you know, some people just are stuck in a relationship, or they're stuck in trying to, wait out whether it's going to work or whether it's not going to work because they're stuck. So today's talk is going to basically be about how do you claim that space. But the space that we're going to talk about today is the person that brought this to my attention was, she's not married, but she does live with her boyfriend. And they've been in this relationship for about 3 years now. They've lived together for about 1.5 years, but they've been together for about 3 years. And she says some days is good, but then some days it's just where she's guessing, like whether, is it going to work or is it not going to work. She gets kind of shaky sometimes about the relationship, and she thinks it's because she's not having enough of her own time. Now that they're living together, everything is basically wrapped around what they both can do together. The only time that she has away is when she's at school or she's working part-time. So that's really the only time that she has, and that's only maybe 2 or 3 days out of the week. And the rest of the time her boyfriend works from home, so they're basically in the same spot 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And she says it's just getting really to the point where now it's just feeling like a little bit overwhelmed for her. She's not able to really think straight sometimes. She says it's just too much. It's getting to become too much. And she's at the point right now where she's actually trying to figure out if this is something that she really wants long term, like does she want a commitment? And when she says a commitment, is that she really think that marriage is for her, because she's already feeling overwhelmed and they've only been living together for 1.5 years. And I said to her, well, do you ever pause with yourself? Do you ever do a just me day? Maybe go out and get your nails done, get your hair done, or maybe get a massage or something, just a me time, And she said, well, Jeannie, I really don't get to do that because, my partner works from home. I'm home all the time because I do school from home, and then I go out maybe 2 days out of the week for 3 or 4 hours for my part-time job, but that's really not enough time away from home. Not enough time from feeling closed in. That's how she put it. And I said, well, have you spoke to your partner about how you feel? Maybe you both need to give each other some time. And when I mean time is not separating from where you live at, not stop living together, but maybe he needs to go out and do some things for a couple of hours. Maybe some hobbies that maybe he likes to do, maybe he can go do them. If you have hobbies, go out and do them. Try to do things on a daily basis that doesn't always involve both of you together doing it all the time, or involve you both in the same space all the time. So she said, well, I tried that one time. She said she likes doing exercise and stuff. She said she used to go to the gym. She would go to the gym twice a week. And she said she would be out of the gym maybe 45 minutes and then come back home. But she said that worked for a little bit, but then she would go back into her same routine, and it was just starting to be overwhelmed again. So, just talking to her, I think a lot of people are probably going through the same situation where they're feeling overwhelmed because they're around their partner all day long. All their plans are all wrapped around what they can do together, or what works best for them, so they can both go to wherever the event is or whatever the outing is. You do everything together. For some people, it might not be overwhelmed. Some people, maybe that's what they like in a relationship and that works for them. But for some people, being around a person all day long, every day, sometimes it becomes a little, almost like closing them in, and it doesn't work for them. So I feel as though if you're listening to this and you're going through something like this with a partner where you feel as though you're almost suffocating with the relationship, not saying that you're not happy or you no longer love this person, but you're just starting to feel suffocated because you're not having enough time for yourself, and you feel as though you're missing that and you need that back in your life, then this talk is for you. And I'm sure there's a lot of people that can resonate with my client that brought this up to my attention, that she feels closed in. Like she said, I don't know how else to put it, but I just feel closed in. and she said, I love him to death, but it's just something within me. I just need to breathe on my own. I need to do things. We're not worrying about, can I involve him in it? Is it something that he can do? Is it okay? Can I do it at a certain time because he works? She said, I want to do something without worrying about anybody else, just myself, what I want to do. And I said to her, did you talk to your partner about that, see how he feels? And she said, yeah, but he feels as though he doesn't see a problem with us doing everything together all the time. He doesn't see why that would be a problem to her. And I said, well, what was your reply to that? How did you respond to the way he felt about it? And she said, well, I told him straight out that it is a problem to me because I feel as though I need to have time to myself. I just feel like I'm closed in with him being involved with everything that I do every day. And she said, I'm not trying to do something I'm not supposed to do, or go hang out somewhere I'm not supposed to hang out, or be around people I'm not supposed to. She said, I just want to have time for myself, and I think he doesn't understand that. She said she thinks that he's taking it all in the wrong way, that she's getting tired of him, or she wants to be with someone else, or she wants to do something that he's not going to agree with, or something that's not supposed to be done when you're in a relationship. And she said that she explained all that to him, that it's not what he thinks. It's just that she needs to be a little bit on her own on certain things so she can start gaining back her confidence. She can start gaining back her independency from this relationship. And I think that he never understood that prior to when she explained it that way, that it wasn't that she didn't love him anymore, that she wanted something different. It was that she just wanted to reclaim her space again. She wanted to reclaim her independency again. She wanted to reclaim herself again. Her full in confidence again, on standing on her own, doing things. So she did explain all that to him, and I think now they're going to try to do things. She hasn't started yet, but she said she's going to make plans, maybe go watch a movie on her own, or start exercising again on her own, or just connecting with her friends again, because she said ever since she's been in this relationship, she lost that connection with her friends. She doesn't go out with her friends anymore like before. She doesn't really call her friends anymore. She's not involved with them as much as she was before they moved in together. So she said she was going to try to do that, reconnect with her friends, and see how that makes her feel. Maybe it'll make her feel more connected to the world, more connected to her purpose, and not feel so disconnected from everything and isolated. So she hasn't done it, but when she does, I'm going to do a second part to this talk today and let everyone know how it turned out for her when she put her actions in place from what she decided to do. She took the actions, and then we're going to see the feedback on how it fell in place for her, whether it worked out or made things worse. We won't know, but I would definitely am going to do a second part to this conversation. So for anyone out there that is going through this but are not sure if doing what my client says she's going to do is going to work out for them, and they just want to see how it works out for her, I will be doing a second part to this. I don't know exactly when, because I'll have to wait for her to do it, give her some time, and see how it works out, and then I definitely will feed you back on that. So if you do want to hear more back about this, let me know, and I'll make sure that I include you on the alert when I do put it back out. I've also been getting a lot of feedback on questions about, do we have an advocate or an individual that really puts things together for caregivers? That's something that's really been coming up a lot in our messages, things that people have been sending out to me, questions, concerns. And what I've been getting a lot of is, because basically what we talk about all the time is mental illness and addiction, now to be a little bit more different things. But on our website, if you're familiar with our website, www.you'renotalone.online, you'll see that we have a mixture of a little bit of everything, just trying to make sure that we have everything that someone might need. But I don't think we had enough before our last conversation. I don't think we had enough out there for caregivers to download. And what I mean by that is because I know we just got some more stuff put up there because I just had a conversation with someone that was reaching out to me a couple times last week, and I finally was able to reach back out to them and see exactly what they were looking for. And what they were looking for is an actual breakdown or a download, a digital download ebook on a little bit of to-dos and don'ts, or maybe a little feedback on how to deal with caregiving, to a person with an individual that's struggling with mental illness, or an individual that's struggling with an addiction. And what they meant by that was not how to actually care for someone, because that comes from within us. So we're all going to care different for our loved ones or whoever it is that we're dealing with these situations. So the way we're going to treat that person or we deal with it within ourselves is all going to be different, because we're all different, and we love and care for someone and structure our well-being with someone else, and all in a different way. So what they meant was she just wanted some feedback on, she gave us a couple of examples, like how would you approach an individual that's dealing with an addiction, you're letting them stay with you, you're a little shaky on grounds with that because you're not sure, how it's going to pan out. Are they really going to get help? Are they not? Are they just with you to have a roof over their head? This is her words. I'm just telling you exactly what she sent to me. Just to have a roof over their head, somewhere to sleep. But at the same time, you don't feel safe because this person is coming in and out of your home at all hours of the day and night. How should she go about that situation? That was one of the questions, and I think it was one of her highlighted questions. I think that was her main concern. So I know and I get it, it's really scary sometimes when you're caring for someone that has an addiction, because you just never know how bad the addiction is or which way that addiction is going to turn. And I get it. But at the end of the day, this is still a part of our life. We love this person, it's part of our family, part of our circle. We have to try to support them the best that we can. But at the same time that we're giving them the support and we're being there for them, giving them a place to stay, we still have to put up boundaries. And what I mean by that is we still have to have rules and regulations. Even though they're dealing with, this addiction or mental illness, there still have to be rules and regulations within that home, within that relationship. So, going back to what she was scared of, she said she's scared of, maybe he might bring someone in throughout the night with him to get high with, or he might leave her doors open, or she just doesn't know what could happen because the person is in and out of her home all hours of the night. So there is boundaries that need to be put because that's her home, and I get it. And even though she wants to really help this person out to the best that she can, we still have to also worry about our safety. If it's our home that we're sharing with an individual, we have to really sit down with the individual and really put plans in prospect. Like, we have to really put rules down, set the rules down, and really tell them how things have to be. And at the same time, when you're giving them the rules and regulations that you want them to obey with, also put in there about them, what are they planning? What are they planning to get help? Also put that into that plan also. Because sometimes when individuals are dealing with different addictions, if they're not really pushed enough or really known enough that they do have the support, and there is, at the end of the light, there is a light at the end of the tunnel, and we are trying to help you to get there. Sometimes they're just fading away too much every day. That's the least of what they're thinking about. So sometimes you have to bring that up to them and remind them that yes, you do support them. Yes, you do whatever it takes to get them where they need to be. but they also have to start showing up for themselves, and they have to start taking responsibility. And by doing that, they do need to put a plan in place. Let you know what is their plans, and how are they going to start that plan and when. We have to set down these rules and regulations for anyone that we're caring for. We just can't brush it off and just let them deal with it every day as it goes by, day by day, because it's just going to get worse. And I understand that we can't cross boundaries and we can't force them, because they can only get well when they're ready to. They can only get recovery and recover from an addiction. They have to want that. Anyone struggling with mental illness, they have to be ready to accept changes and accept the help to heal healthy also from the mental illness, the trauma that they're dealing with. So I get it. There is boundaries that we cannot cross sometimes. Sometimes we can push those boundaries and really make them understand that, yes, I know there's boundaries and you're a person and life is at your terms. But sometimes we have to really, really just push in and really dig sometimes and let them know, I'm here for you, but don't take advantage of that. I support you. Don't take advantage of that. Don't take anything that I'm doing for you for granted. I want you to get help, and you need to get help soon. And we need to do this together so to make sure that you're healed in a healthy way. Sometimes we just have to have those kind of conversations with them. And yes, sometimes they might get mad, which most of the time they do. Most of the time they don't want to hear it. And it's fine. They're entitled to the way they feel. They're entitled to their emotions. They're entitled to say whatever they say with respect to you as a caregiver. So this is exactly what I told her, and I think she really wrapped her head around it after we spoke for about 2 hours and just went over these kind of things with her. That it's okay to love someone. It's okay to dedicate your life to take care of someone that has a mental illness or an addiction. But at the same time, we have to lay down rules and regulations, boundaries. And there's have to be deadlines. You have to put deadlines in. You have to tell them, okay, you're here, but you're promising me that within this amount of time, you're going to reach out for help, whether it's for an addiction or a mental illness. You have to really push that into them and be on them about it. Whether they get mad over and over, you continue to push until eventually they get the help that they need. Because at the end of the day, that's really why you're supporting them. Really, at the end of the day, that is really why you're caring for them, because you're really waiting for that light at the end of the tunnel. And that is them recovering either from the mental illness, getting help for their trauma, or recovering from an addiction, which is also part of a trauma. And like I said, always, if there's something that you're looking for on my website and it's not there, or you can't find it, or it's not exactly what you're looking for, but you do want something else, you've heard me talking about it, or you've seen it before, or you know someone else that has something but it's no longer on our site, but you would like to have it, please reach out to us and we will get that out to you. If we don't have it on our site, we probably took it down to add new stuff up, but we always have access to it and we'll always be able to send it out to you. Also, for everyone that knows me knows that I'm always looking for volunteers. I'm looking for anyone that really wants to put some time in to help with mental illness, addiction, now life coaching, spiritual coaching, relationships and marriage coaching, or counseling. Please reach out to me. Let's make this happen. All of my services, tools, and resources are available and accessed worldwide. Please reach out to me. Let's help these individuals worldwide get the service and the help that they really need. Because we're losing souls by the minute, by the second, to a mental illness, to an addiction. You know, relationships that are really meant to be together are just falling apart. You know, people are just falling apart or disconnecting from their spiritual purpose. by the second. People are stuck in their life and their career with not knowing what to do next. These are all the individuals right now that are reaching out to us. We're providing help for them worldwide. And if you're out there, and if you're a licensed therapist, a licensed counselor, life coach, relationship, marriage coach, and you just want to help us out, you want to help out these beautiful souls, because it's not about me. It's about these souls that really, really need this help. Worldwide, reach out to us. Let's make this happen. Let's help them. You know, that's really what everyone's purpose is, to help each other. Some people can't wrap their head around it, or they don't feel as though that's really what they're supposed to do. But, you know, as for myself and anyone that's in my team knows that really, you know, why wouldn't you want to help someone that really needs the help, but they can't afford it, or they don't know where to get it from? Why not? You know, you would hope someone does that for you or a loved one. So why don't you want to give that back in return? So if you can, please reach out to us. Let's make it happen. Let's help that next soul that really, really is hoping that they can get support. Let's give it to them. Push our information out. Push our link out. Social media stuff that we have out there. Our podcast is on every major platform that you can sign on to. We're out there. Google us if you don't know where to find us. If you went on the website but you want to find out more about me, my organization, please Google me. Jeannie Perez, the founder of You're Not Alone. You'll find out all the information that you need to know. It maybe move you forward in making your decision on coming aboard with us, or coming aboard on behalf of coming to get help from us, becoming a part of our community. Please clear your mind with any doubts or anything. Google us. You'll have all that information that you need. Again, it's Jeannie Perez, the founder of You're Not Alone. You'll find out everything that you need to clear your mind up so that you can make that next step that needs to happen. You know, it's really sad that you pull up numbers, you know, because the world, that's all it really is numbers. We're all a number. It all depends on what you're trying to metric out, you know, but we're all numbers. That's all we are. And, you know, going online and looking up the numbers for mental illness, addiction, relationships, life coaching, spiritual. The numbers are just large worldwide. There's not even one place on the map that I can say, you know, no, they're lacking of this. Their numbers are okay on this, or they're higher here. They're high everywhere. They're high everywhere. You know, people are searching for help in all different kinds of causes worldwide. You know, I don't think I remember when in my field, you know, because I started out as an RN. I don't remember back years ago how the health field numbers are just so high. You know, but right now they're like higher than I can ever remember in my career. Never this high. And like I said, we can't just say it's one thing. Can't say it's high in mental illness or in addiction or in marriage counseling or life coaching or spiritual. They're all high. Worldwide, people are just searching for help worldwide on these different situations. And it's just the world that we're living in. And if you have the heart to help someone else, please reach out to us. And if you don't have the license in any of those services, that's fine. You can still be an advocate. You can still help me, you know, help our organization. No matter where you're sitting at in the world, you're still able to help. And no little doing is not enough. Everything is a valuable help to me, no matter how small it is. And with that being said, I just want to say thank you to everyone that has been supporting me in this journey, that has really been amazing, bringing me information, putting information together, reaching out to my team to get stuff out to them, to get it over to me, sending people over to us. You know, it's just been mind-boggling how amazing people are worldwide. Because I just can't say it's just the people in my community, because it's not. I'm getting help worldwide. You know, they might not be licensed, but they're sending me information that I can share, and it's a win. Because knowledge is power, and no information that is sent to me ever goes to waste. I share and I use everything that is being sent to me. And I just want to say thank you to everyone that's really supporting us and really walking along with us on this journey of really helping the cause that is so important to me. And I want to say thank you. I want to end that today with my statement that I really mean is from the bottom of my heart. Is it's okay to not be okay. And I really mean that. I don't care what anyone else tells you or how anyone tries to make you feel. It's okay to not be okay, because there is no norm. It's okay to not be okay. But what's not okay and never acceptable is for someone to think that they have to struggle in the dark, alone, in silence ever. That's not acceptable. And that's for no one to ever feel as though they have to do that. Until next time, please take care of yourself and your loved ones.